active shooter situation. It is not code 4. We have multiple subjects down.
Right now on 10 News this morning, SoCal shooting, 3 killed, 4 hurt in a bowling alley in Torrance, what led to the gunfire.
National emergency. The president considering a new tactic to get his border wall, vowing to keep the government shut down for months, even years.
Rain and snow, the storm heading our way this weekend, and where we'll see the biggest impacts. 10 News this morning starts right now.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Good Saturday morning to you. Glad you're here with us. Saturday, January 5th. It is coming up on 8 o'clock. I'm Mary McKenzie.
And I'm Jim Patton. Great to have you here. Let's get started with a check on our weather this morning, and we're talking about rain in the forecast.
Yeah, later on tonight is when we can expect to see some of those raindrops here. For now, if you are heading out on this early Sunday morning, you can see very cloudy to start. This is a live look here from our downtown Skycam. Hey, if you do want to take the 94 into downtown, absolutely no traffic right now. 53 degrees, calm winds. Not everywhere is going to see the sun because of that cloud cover. The sunset tonight, 4:57. 24-hour temperature change overall in the county. It is a cool start, but it is much warmer than what we have been seeing. We are 10 degrees warmer in Ramona, Warner Springs, Alpine compared to this time yesterday. Same thing in Oceanside. Check out this beautiful shot here. The clouds made for some nice pictures. This is from Kim up in Escondido. So thank you again to our weather watchers for sending us this photo. So here's our satellite and radar. Yes, you can see definitely cloudy, and it's going to stay cloudy throughout the day with an increasing chance of those showers as we get into our late afternoon and evening hours. However, most of the showers where we could get up to ½ an inch along the coast expected to fall overnight. 10-hour day planner, 60 for your lunch hour. Inland valleys will be in the upper 50s. And 10 News reporter Natay Holmes, she joins us live from Father Joe's Villages. And Natay, they've had to set up shelters for those in need several times already.
That's right. Now, I spoke with a security guard earlier this morning, and he said that the shelter wasn't in place last night, but that could all change tonight as the wet weather makes its way in. And you can see just how many homeless people are sitting out and sleeping on the streets here outside of Father Joe's Villages. Now, staff here will bring in extra cots and convert their dining hall into shelter for the homeless. Most recently, this happened on New Year's Eve. When temperatures drop below 50 degrees, the San Diego Housing Commission activates the inclement weather shelter program. Chance of rain greater than 40% or sustained high winds also play a major factor, and if the city decides to open the shelters. Now, during inclement weather, on average, Father Joe's Villages can take in about 100 people, but the need is much greater. Deacon Jim Vargas says there are over 6,000 homeless in San Diego and over 5,000 are not sheltered. Now, the homeless will get dinner and breakfast at the inclement weather shelter. They'll also be given dry clothes when they leave. And San Diegans also looking for shelter during this inclement weather can dial 211. Live in downtown, Natay Holmes, 10 News.
Natay, thank you. Breaking news, 3 people dead, at least 4 of them injured after a shooting at a bowling alley in Torrance. Torrance Police Department says there were reports of shots fired with multiple victims down at the Gable House Bowl. And
happened shortly before midnight, according to witnesses. Gunfire erupted when a fight broke out between a group of women inside the bowling alley. Witnesses described the chaotic scene. They say it was a desperate search for people to find their family members.
People were crying. It was not comfortable. People were looking for their parents because Nisa is a family league. So, you got mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, everybody's friends in that league.
Police have yet to say if they have caught the shooter or shooters. They are still urging people to stay away from this area.
President considering drastic measures to get his border wall. Says he is willing to keep the government shut down for months, even years, if he doesn't get funding for the wall. 2 weeks into the shutdown, both sides have not budged. The president says he is now considering declaring a national emergency to bypass Congress and build the wall himself.
Have you considered using emergency powers to grant yourself authorities to build this wall without congressional approval?
Yes,
on
I have.
Mexico, you have?
Yes, I have. And I can do it if I want.
So you don't need congressional approval to build the wall?
No, we can use them. Absolutely. We can call a national emergency because of the security of our country. Absolutely. No, we can do it. I haven't done it. I may do it.
Thousands of government workers have been impacted by the government shutdown. No matter what happens, the government will stay closed until at least Tuesday, when Congress is scheduled to reconvene.
With the partial shutdown looming over Washington, the new House majority is pushing ahead with its agenda. ABC's Lana Zach has the ambitious first bill the Democrats are trying to pass.
This morning, the new Congress taking aim at President Trump.
We are introducing H.R. 1 to hold legislation to clean up corruption and restore integrity to government.
House Democrats unveiling a sweeping political reform package that could target the president's tax returns. But what's happening outside the House chamber is also garnering attention. The spotlight on Michigan's newly elected representative Rashida Tlaib for her use of profanity to describe the president.
Because we're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the
Some Democrats not pleased.
I think those kind of comments do not take us in the right direction. So I would say that they are inappropriate.
President Trump going further.
I thought that was a great dishonor to her and to her family. I thought it was highly disrespectful to the United States of America.
And arguing that he doesn't see how he can be impeached.
You don't impeach people when they're doing a good job.
Republicans are calling on Pelosi to disavow Tlaib's remarks. But Pelosi says the president isn't one to lecture on language.
I don't think it's anything worse than what the president has said.
And Representative Tlaib tells Detroit local NBC station WDIV she's unapologetic.
I am very passionate, and I grew up in an incredibly beautiful urban community of the city of Detroit, born and raised. We say, colorful things in interesting ways.
Meanwhile, another freshman congresswoman making waves, New York's Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, after anonymous tweets of this college video were posted in an apparent attempt to embarrass her. She responded by posting this new video on Twitter, writing, "Wait till they find out Congresswomen dance too."
And that was Lana Zach reporting. A man is in jail after police say he stabbed his girlfriend's father in the head. It happened about 7 o'clock last night on Charmont Drive in the UTC La Jolla area. Police say it started as an argument between a woman's boyfriend and her dad. And that's when the boyfriend, they say, pulled a knife and stabbed the woman's father in the head. He was taken to the hospital, but is expected to be okay.
Cars crashing into a light pole lying across the 5 freeway near the 163. The driver accused of knocking it down, arrested right in front of our camera. Lanes were shut down for more than an hour last night after at least 7 drivers were caught up in the melee on Interstate 5 near the 163. The fallen light pole fell right on the path of traffic. Jonathan Sangster showed us the damage to his car. He and other drivers tried unsuccessfully to swerve out of the way of that pole.
One right there. And then also got my back passenger tire as well.
Well, the driver told CHP he simply fell asleep, but after a sobriety test, you see, they put him in cuffs. Crews removed that down light pole from the scene. They say they will replace it today during daylight hours.
We are learning some new information this morning about the man who led police on this dramatic chase that started in Inglewood, ended here in San Diego County. Police say many people were afraid of 34-year-old Carl Flores. This video, of course, is from Thursday, and he led police on a 3-hour chase. You saw there ended up being 4 failed pit maneuvers in all. At one point, he even hit a pedestrian in his path on a scooter. Thankfully, the person there just sustained minor injuries. But it's not Flores' first act of violence. Police say he'd been terrorizing his Inglewood neighborhood, forcing them to respond many times to his apartment and at a nearby Islamic center where Flores occasionally worshiped. The most recent run-in happened on New Year's Day.
He came after me holding a long metal stick. And he said, go, go, go. He wants to hit me. I ran away.
He was trying to hit you?
Yeah. And I ran away. I went to the mosque. I called 911.
This police pursuit Thursday ultimately ended with a blast at Flores with a beanbag gun, and they also deployed the K-9 officer you see there. He is now, Flores, recovering from surgery.
A senior al-Qaeda terrorist involved in the USS Cole bombing has been killed. One of the victims on the ship was San Diego native Lakiba Palmer. The attack on the USS Cole in Yemen killed 17 sailors on October 12, 2000. A group of suicide bombers detonated a small boat filled with explosives, creating a large gash in the ship. Lakiba was a graduate of San Diego High. Retired Senior Chief Chris Regal talked about how much everyone liked her.
She'd be the only one that'd be smiling. The worst job on the ship, and she's just sitting there smiling.
Well, this week, a major development, U.S. officials announcing that an airstrike in Yemen had killed the organizer of the Cole attack, Jamel Ahmed Mohammed Ali al-Badawi, who was working under Osama bin Laden. He had escaped prison twice and had been on the FBI's most wanted list with a $5 million bounty.
At least 3 people have died in Thailand following Tropical Storm Pabuk. It made landfall on Friday. Reportedly, 2 elderly people drowned as a result of the storm. The 3rd person died after his fishing boat capsized. Meanwhile, Pabuk has now been downgraded to a tropical depression and has left Thailand. However, it's the worst storm to hit that area in 3 decades. More than 28,000 people were thankfully evacuated ahead of the storm.
The mayor is proposing to put a migrant shelter in Alpine. It's only a proposal for now, but the city is in talks to put one 20 minutes south of town. The site was a former site for troubled teens. Camp Barrett on the outer edges of Alpine being tossed around as a possible long-term shelter for asylum seekers that have been federally processed.
I just think that it would be important to tell the locals kind of about what's going on and to not just assume that things can come out here.
City of San Diego says the current shelter that they have been inspecting is not suitable for long-term use, and a private organization has come forward offering to pay for the shelter's operations. City has notified the state, but assessments and adaptations still need to be done to the property before anyone can move into the site. City has been helping in the inspection of a temporary shelter, but the deadline to vacate the current one is February 4th, unless it's extended.
Happening today, a platoon of female Marine recruits will become the first women to train alongside a battalion of men. It'll happen at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot in Parris Island, South Carolina. Marine Corps leadership has said in a statement that it decided to integrate the training to make it more efficient. The Marines began accepting women for armed combat positions in January 2016. The first 3 women to join the infantry came a year later.
Not taking long to get our first rain of the year here in San Diego.
Yeah, we are expecting those showers later on today. We'll time it out here in just a moment, but perhaps if you're heading out anytime soon, you're going to see this. Lots of cloudy conditions out there. This is a live look at the Hotel Del, 8:08 in the morning. Still beautiful, although it is, yes, on the cooler side. The sun is up, although you can't really see it right now in many areas. 43 degrees in Poway, 10 degrees warmer in downtown. El Cajon, you are seeing 45, 50-degree mark there in Jamul. Still pretty cool, though, up in Warner Springs. Still stuck in the 30s right now. Well, you see all of this cloud cover here. On one hand, the cloud cover is helping keep us a little bit warmer than what we have seen over the past few days. Now, as we time out our range futurecast, you can see that by later on this afternoon, we start to get our first chance here of some scattered showers. The showers expecting to increase into our overnight hours, and then we are also dealing with a possibility of light snow dropping down to about 5,000 feet. So we're talking places like Mount Laguna and Palomar Mountain. Along the coast, we could see anywhere between 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch of rain. Your forecast highs for today, it's going to be on the cooler side. 61 there in Carlsbad, 61 in Poway, 61 as well in Chula Vista. A little bit cooler up in the mountains. Julian at 48. Julian's probably going to sit this one out as far as snow is concerned. 7-day forecast here along the coast. By Monday into Tuesday, we are going to dry on out, but then we do have another chance of some rain on Wednesday. They've backed a little bit as far as the models are concerned, as far as how much rain we are going to get on Wednesday, but still keeping that increasing chance there. Overnight lows in our inland valleys going to be in the 40s, daytime highs in the mountains in the 40s, deserts here, lower 60s for your weekend.